Headlines: ACF to discuss ethnic tension with regional groups. Federal Road Safety Corps denied job racketeering. Ronaldo on the verge of becoming all-time great. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Hussaina Usman. Arewa Consultative Forum ACF says it will meet with Ohaneze Ndibo, Afenifere and South leaders to discuss ways of addressing ethnic and regional tension in the country. Rising from its National Executive Council meeting in Kaduna, ACF Chairman Audu Ogbe expressed satisfaction with the Southeast political leaders condemning violent secession agitation, urging them to protect Northerners and the poor citizens in the region.
Their appeal that we should protect their citizens in the North will definitely not fall on deaf ears. We will protect them. But we urge them too to take steps to protect our own citizens in their domain. We receive reports quite constantly of killings of some men and women who are into very minor businesses like even suya sellers on the streets getting killed. We want to assure them we will not relent in our effort to make sure that every Nigerian everywhere in the country is safe and protected as far as we have the capacity to do so.
ACF commends governors of Kebbi and Niger states for the courage they displayed in the fight against banditry. Former Publicity Secretary of ACF, Anthony Sani, speaks on the planned discussions with regional groups in the country.
Anything that can be done in order to bring about peaceful coexistence by reducing the violence across this country is worth doing. And given that this particular regional platform, at least the talk of they are representing certain group, so if they are able to come together, understand themselves, and educate their people about the benefit of peaceful coexistence, it is a welcome idea as far as I'm concerned. Because when you talk of dialogue, who are you expecting to do the dialogue? Are they not those who can speak on a representative capacity for the people? So I see it as not misplaced at all. I expect it to yield something, because if Arewa Consultative Forum or Hanedi that represent Igbos and the Afenifere that represent Yoruba are able to come together and come to terms with the reality and resolve to bring about the peace, I expect the follower in this group to follow so. Otherwise, how are they going to continue to do the violent protest or asking for secession without a particular platform? It's not possible. Most of these people that are misbehaving is because this platform are not calling them to order in a very persuasive manner. That's why they are doing it. So if they come together and agree that there's a need for peace, for purpose of development by the people, I think there's hope that it can work. I think the recommendation is just about a personal effort made by the governor in a particular circumstances. And people felt that they developed very good courage in taking that decision. And so it is worth doing because any commendation done by anybody for a good action is a motivating factor for the others to follow. But the most important aspect of the whole thing, we've not been really be very good in tackling this particular problem, particularly at the level of governance. If you notice, about a few months ago, they were talking about different approaches. Instead of coming to town that there's a need for a common approach to overcome the violence, everybody, Zamfara was talking differently, the Katsina was talking differently, Benue was talking differently, Bauchi was talking differently. It didn't sound very convincing and nice at all. And so I'm thinking that the recommendation by ACF will bring the attention of all the governors. There's a need to adopt a common position against insecurity in this country.
National Youth Service Corps says it blocked 1,000 Corps members from relocating to states of their choice. NYC Director, Brigadier General Ibrahim Shaibu, says most corps members attempt to manipulate their supervisors to get redeployment against ethics of the scheme. Federal Road Safety Corps is denying job racketeering in the commission, saying it is not recruiting now. Assistant Corps Marshal, Public Education Officer Biola Kazeem told Trust TV that online publications about vacancies is untrue. The FRSC issued a disclaimer on a purported recruitment and shortlisting. Can you tell us more on this?
Well, we woke up this morning and our attention was drawn to a purported publication by Opera News, an online publication misinforming the public about the release of shortlisted names for recruitment into the services of the Corps. A very laughable. We want to tell the public that the Corps is presently not recruiting. Neither is there any list of shortlisted candidates published on any platform whatsoever. We want to reiterate that recruitment processes have always been transparent, credible, and made public through adequate placement of advertorial and notifications on all available media platforms, including our website, which is www.frSC.gov.ng, our social media handle, and the National Traffic Radio 107.1 FM. So the public is to note that they should desist from any engagement with the purpose of that misinformation and outright disinformation, as the Corps would not be liable should anyone fall victim. So we are saying that we have not shortlisted anybody, we have not even made any advert for recruitment, which is statutory. And when this will be, no Nigeria will know, and we'll be able to know what is going on.
All right, now people have actually complained on how word hardly gets out when there are recruitment or there's a recruitment exercise. Some people actually blame it on nepotism, saying that some of the top people that actually work in the FRSC have slots to give family members, and that's the reason why. Can you clarify that allegation?
Like I said, has always been very transparent. If, for example, we advertise as it demands, and you go through the recruitment, and you are eventually taken. Also, how does that one? How would they say slots are given? When it's transparent, it is transparent. When it's advertised, and the process all are always credible. In FRSC, we do not do that. We don't give slots. We write exam where possible. We interview orally where possible. We do physical exercises, and from there, we ensure that people are taken according to the marks scored. So here we do not believe in slots. Here we do not believe in favoritism. And also, the quota system as available, all the geopolitical zone will adequately be taken care of, and all the states of the federation. So it's not something that you can just back and say, this kind of people will take. No, it's not going to be so. And we normally get representative from federal character, from even the National Assembly, overlooking the processes. So it's not something that is hidden or that can be pledged or it.
Coming up after the break, motorists in Abuja defy rules. Do stay.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
This is another Government Day Technical School located at Gonika Challari, which was also commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari. The mega-sized secondary school has an administrative block and 60 air-conditioned classrooms for a minimum of 2,400 students. It has 4 laboratories for ICT, physics, chemistry and agric science. The technical school also has 4 workshops for nutrition, carpentry, metalworks and plumbing, in line with Governor Zulum's entrepreneurial development of young minds towards productive future.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana da jeje.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, har muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and at the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Welcome back from that timeout. Here's a recap of our top stories. ACF discussed ethnic tension with regional groups. Federal Road Safety denied job racketeering. Still in the news, conviction of former member House of Representatives Farouk Lawang by an FCT High Court over a $500 bribe is still generating discussion on Nigeria's anti-corruption war. Daily Trust Deputy General Editor Abdulaziz continues with the conversation.
Usually with conviction, first, of course, it's a judicial thing in the sense that by the Nigerian laws, once you are an ex-convict, you cannot be elected. You cannot contest into any position, and you cannot also get appointed into key appointments. So it is already a big dent on him. So I think there is the issue of political career is like dead, because except if he got this conviction reversed, because of course there are people who were convicted. This is not all done for him. There are people who were convicted on similar charges, on charges of corruption or bribery, but at the appellate court or the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court, they, in their own wisdom, decide to turn down the conviction. So if the conviction is turned down, fine and good, but if it is not, then it means that it is goodbye to politics for him.
Now, will this serve as deterrent to others, considering that, a lot of people seem to think that politicians are just out there to line their pockets?
Well, and that's the hope. Usually with judgments like this are expected to serve as a restitution in terms of that's punishing the offender, but also to serve as deterrence. That's a big part of judicial decisions like this. But it's not always the case. Sometimes it can be the case. That's the hope. But looking at Nigerian political or public scenario, it shows that people don't really learn lessons, because we've seen that with all the convictions, like for example, right now, there are 2 former governors serving jail terms. In fact, 3 if you add to Uche Uzokalu, who was later released. But that does not somehow stop the impunity with which state governors or people in public offices still behave themselves. We have a former Secretary to the Government of the Federation in the dock right now, but perhaps nothing much has changed in the way some people that are still in public offices conduct themselves. But I think we'll get there with more cases, usually because the cases are still far apart. It's not like we have, especially compared to the cases we have, the convictions are still really very, very few. So perhaps it's not too much to make a statement. And that is why, as I said earlier, the more of such judgments we get, the speed with which cases of corruption and misconduct in public offices are dispensed, it will add, they will give more confidence, and they will also serve more as deterrence to others who are in public office. Because when the examples are too glaring, I think those who are still there will try to conduct themselves in a way that they will not end up like A, B, and Z,
Many motorists in Abuja are not ignorant of road traffic signs. They, however, defy these signs at will, a trend responsible for chaos and avoidable accidents on the highways. In this report, Trust TV's Gaza Yakubu speaks to motorists on the road signs and symbols they know.
Traffic road signs and marks are not decorations. They are not meant to beautify our roads, but to help road users navigate their ways to avoid accident. Over time, motorists have found violating the rules and regulation, which has not only resulted to loss of lives and property, but has become a burden to law enforcement agencies. Experts say drivers are not ignorant of the signs and marks.
It is a requirement for a driver in Nigeria to obtain highway code. Obtaining that highway code alone is enough for one to know the traffic signs and symbols.
As we make our observation at how some motorists are comfortably defiling these rules, we ask if they truly know the signs and marks.
Like now, if your car stops, you use a triangle to stop. You put one at the back, one at the front. That means the car is breakdown. Or you put hazard, that's double trafficator, to show that car is faulty. Understand? You see something in form of horn like this, it's a hospital sign. You know that there's hospital there. Understand? So there are so many things. Pedestrian crossing, like this zebra line now, it's a pedestrian crossing. When you come to that place, you have to stop for those who are walking on the foot. You don't supposed to stop on the pedestrian crossing. You're supposed to stop before the pedestrian crossing, so that the person that is crossing will see very well.
Although some drivers blame it on lack of proper sensitization by the Federal Road Safety Corps, they are of the opinion that a lot needs to be done to correct this abnormality. Gaza Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on the foreign scene, European Union Commission has announced that France will receive 39.4 billion euros grant as part of its post-COVID-19 pandemic recovery plan. President of the Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said this in Paris as part of her visit to 12 EU member states. And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored his 109th international goal in Portugal's 2-2 draw with France at the ongoing Euros 2020. Only Ali Day scored 109 international goals for Iran between 1993 and 2006. The latest landmark by Ronaldo makes the 36-year-old be considered candidate for all-time great. Enjoy this kicker of a local who made a car using scrap metals and fiberglass.
This is a project I made myself. It's a car. So I want you to stay tuned and watch how I'm going to zoom up with the car.
Such creativity. It's a wrap on the news update. Don't forget to follow us on our socials. I am Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.